Hi guys and welcome to my channel. Today I thought I would take you guys on a first impressions, first flip through of the Harcourt Trophies Language Arts Grade 2. This is not a review because I haven't used it, but I was looking through it and I was like, oh, this would be interesting to share with others just what my first thoughts are upon receiving it. So I hope you enjoy. Okay, so first I'm going to take a look at the student edition. I have the student edition, the teacher's edition, the spelling book practice, language handbook answer key, the language handbook, practice book for the first book. I also have the second book answer key. I have the practice book, and then the answer key to the practice book, which I soon realized that this is not needed. So let's take a look at the student books first. I'm going to open it up, and just looking at the table of contents, it looks like there's 15 lessons here, because it looks like there's going to be about a lesson a week, and then 14 here. Okay, so that's going to give me 29 weeks, which I was thinking about incorporating some type of novel study in between each theme. So this first theme has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then so we'll do it for 5 weeks and then do a novel study, do this novel study, but then also we homeschool 4 days a week. So this would be enough if I just did that. So then when it comes to I'll look at the first one, the teacher's guide. All right, so it comes with some authors. That's cool. Consultants, that's pretty cool. And then it talks about just the different phonemic awareness, vocabulary, text comprehension, read aloud, assessment, just what researchers are saying, writing, and so listening and spelling, research information skills, reaching all learners, classroom management. So this is pretty old, but it's talking about research, and then it goes into the table of contents here, what's all included. Okay, so here we go. Same thing as the student book. And then, so these are the books that she'll be reading in the first theme. I don't have any of the decodable book selections, but we are going to be using from phonics to reading the blue book, which is also 30 weeks. So I'm not really worried about decodable text because she will get that in her phonics program. So I looked up these 2 library books and they are not available, but I did find something. They're not relatable. Sorry. They're not available, but I found something similar. And then also they give you teaching plans for those books. So, and I tried to look at the on-level books. Some of those were available, but also you can find something very similar. And so I'm not gonna. All right, so this tells me the books, the vocabulary words, what they'll be covering in writing, which would be sentences, statements and questions, commands and explanations, naming parts of sentences, telling parts of sentences. Okay. And then there's cross-curricular centers down here. So I think that's pretty cool. And so, yeah, phonics and spelling. I don't think I'll be using it for spelling, not necessarily the phonics. So this is all that's being addressed in the first theme. I won't be given a diagnostic because I don't have that. I don't think I really need it. And then there's going to be just some supports that you could do for advanced, below level, or your English language learners, which I think is pretty cool. If you want to come up with some new assignments, there are some additional homework ideas for each week. So reading, brainstorm and list for phonics, writing, theme, and then cross-curricular. Okay, it's pretty cool. And so they have that for all of the weeks. So if you want to, let's say for instance, you didn't have a science curriculum or a social studies curriculum, you could beef it up with these activities. So that's something that I really like. We'll be doing our own history, but something that I do want my children to be aware of is all other cultures. And so I find this to be pretty helpful. That way I don't have to go out and find other resources. She can do that. And then theme, preview of the theme, building theme context, class scrapbook. Oh, I like this. This could be like a scrapbook for our homeschool. So I like that idea. Okay, and then this breaks down the book, what we'll be doing each day. So again, I won't be using it for phonics, but the spelling, vocabulary, and high frequency words, I probably will use that to just hone in on more skills. And so I probably won't stress if I don't get to all of this stuff. Vocabulary is something that I will definitely be using, but I won't stress about this. And it tells you how long it should take. So oral language, 30 minutes. Word work, 30 minutes. Reading, 45 minutes. And then language arts, 45 minutes. That's a lot. But again, this is for a classroom. So if I'm just working with my daughter, it might not take that long, especially if we're not, like the phonics program is only going to take us 20 minutes or less. I like the writing. Okay. And it looks like they don't start reading the story until day 2. Day 3. And day 4. So they do 3 reads. We'll probably do 4 reads. What I was doing because we use Harcourt Trophies, the grade 1. So what I did was on Monday we read, but I would do a page, my daughter would do a page. Then on Tuesday we read together. My daughter would do a page and I would do a page. So it would be the opposite page of what we read on Monday. And then Wednesday and Thursday she was reading on her own. And so I did it that way because I remember when I was in elementary school, we did like this thing called popcorn reading. Do y'all remember that? And so though we weren't reading every other page, everyone pretty much got a chance, or those select kids were getting a chance to read, and you were able to hear the words. And so that just gives my daughter confidence when it comes to day 3 and day 4, where she's heard the words and she's had practice and exposure to them. So I'm pretty sure that's how we'll alter that. Let's look at writing. This gives you some centers that you could do. Oh, another thing that I was liking. Okay, so daily language practice. Looks like, okay, so this is grammar. So I would write this on the board and then she would fix it. Okay, so this is something that gives me anxious thoughts. So what I was thinking about doing would be, so she has a tablet. If I put these on Google Slides and edit them on, like already have them for each day, if I put it on Google Slides, then I wouldn't necessarily have to write it down every day. Because also there's a daily starter. So like today is, suppose you were A, you might feel small, and I would like for her to do that in a journal. Phonics, pre-test spelling, reading. So on day 1, she's just reading on her own, and then there's writing, developing ideas and topics and sentences. I'm not sure how much of this sharing literature we'll do each day, but it does guide you into, that's what this is about. It kind of opens the kids up for this. So I might, because some of it is poems, and that's something that I don't do on a regular for my homeschool. Okay. So then there's a phonemic warm-up, and then teach and model, which is pretty cool, but again, we don't really need that. There's a poem using those, highlighting those words. Let's see how this could be. And then there's applying phonics. Again, we don't. Let me see. Practice book number 1. Okay, so with practice book number 1, I quickly realized I have practice book number 2, answer key for teachers. I realized that the answers are right here. So you won't need the answer keys to the practice books. And so this instructs them to, this is always going to be good practice. So is this my on level? Oh, that's the wrong book. Here we go. So we have on level. And so, yeah, I'll probably have her go through that. Even though it is phonics, she's already had the I, and so we'll probably go through that. And then also, here's her spelling words. So that comes up for spelling. And again, here's the answer key on the bottom, if you could see that. And then there's some high frequency words. All right, so then the teaching transparencies. I don't have those, but what I'm thinking that I could do is when I go into Google Drive, can y'all see that? You can click new, and then you can click scan. So what I was thinking about doing was creating a folder. So ACE Academy, that's me, that's our ACE Academy. And then 2nd grade language arts, and then mixed chameleon, day 1. And so here are all of those teacher transparencies that are here. There's one there for sentences. There was another one that I was going to, that I took a picture of. Something about alligators? Okay, maybe not. Anyway, so the teacher transparencies that they're alluding to, oh, that one. I can, the grammar, I could stream those on the TV, or again, send them to her tablet. If she has a link, she can open it up. And then that way, again, here's another sharing literature, and kind of opens up the kids to sentences. And I like that too, because she can get practice with writing the date. More practice in the practice book, more spelling practice. building a background for the story. And this is when they get into their first read and they do work on the vocabulary. And so we have these available. Vocabulary, teaching transparency. Again, I think that's just what I'm going to do because it's something that I'll be teaching actually from. Or she can look at my book because it's not like it's a secret. Main ideas. So we're talking about accessing prior knowledge, helping them gather their thoughts. And then there's the pre-reading strategy, like that. And that's when they get into their read. So as they read, here's some comprehension questions that I'll be able to ask her. I like that because in the state of North Carolina, we do have to test our children. Then there's retelling of the story. And then here's a teacher transparency that I'll just practice book 2. Okay, so this is practice book 2. Oh, that's a test. Okay, I don't need that. All right. Another transparency. Going back to the practice book. So that's going to be used quite a bit. All right, some more practice with words. Reading. So rereading for fluency, day 3. And then we'll do making connections. So I guess they are reading it for 4 days. Let's see. Okay, writing. Okay, so this is where the language handbook comes into place. So it looks like we were talking about sentences on a prior day. And then today they're going to practice in their grammar book. And so let's just take a look at that. And here are the answers right here. So you don't need the answers. So it gives them a review of what we've previously talked about. And then they're just telling whether a sentence is a story or not. So I probably will have her do a language arts journal of some sort. Maybe something like this. A 1 subject, wide rule notebook. I think I like that. And if it's anything that requires her to draw a picture, we'll just cut a piece of paper out, put it here, and have her draw whatever she needs to draw. Here's day 4. I am going to vet these things, though. I am tired of being little. I don't want, like something like that. I don't want that to get in her spirit because, one, she's not tired, and I want her to stay little as long as she possibly can. I don't want her to grow up any older, so that just, to me, sends a message to grow up faster than you have to be. And so it's kind of teaching her how to complain. That's a no. That's a no for me. Phonics, I won't be worrying about that. Vocabulary. Looks like they use the spelling practice book here. So they're using, so yeah, these two seem to be pretty important. The practice book and the spelling practice book. And the language handbook. Because the language handbook has writing and grammar in it. And so I did buy this on the premise that this would be my all-in-one, but also I put money aside just in case I needed a little extra. Because truth be told, in the public school system, it's not the curriculum that's the problem. It's probably most likely the teacher or the students who make it hard for the teacher to teach. So I am not, I'm not opposed to using curriculum that is built for the public school, but also some of the messaging that it gives off. I am definitely going to be monitoring what my daughter is exposed to when it comes to some of those poems and all that jazz. So anyway, yeah, those are just my first thoughts. I got this used. I think this was probably less than 25. Got it used off of Amazon. This was less than 25. And then these were no more than $5. I think this was like $2. Yeah, no more than $5, no more than $5. And so what I did, because it's a curriculum that offers more than one way to teach something, I went ahead and bought it for all 5 of my kids. And so I've had exposure to just the readers from grade 1. And if you'd like for me to do a review on that, I'd gladly do it. It was just the readers though. But I felt comfortable enough knowing that the stories would be good and it would be on late grade level. And then I just thought, hey, you know what? It's an all-in-one language arts curriculum, and it addresses topics like science, math, social studies frequently. And it's also giving them fiction, nonfiction, fantasy, folk tales. And I just wanted to, I have no wherewithal, I guess. I do have the wherewithal if I had the time. I guess I said I don't have the time to pick out pieces of literature. So this curriculum does it for me. And I did put money aside just in case we needed to grab an extra grammar, grab a different writing, grab a different vocabulary. But I'm pretty happy with how it's looking. So yeah. If you enjoyed this first looks flip through, give this video a thumbs up. Think about subscribing to my channel. Don't forget to drink your water and repent. Bye.